you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Antoinette, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Present.
Mr. Adriano?
Here.
Mr. Logan?
Here.
Ms. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. Somebody like to audit the bills?
I will audit the bills. I would like to make a motion to approve abstract number 11 dated June 14, 2019 in the amount of $235,712.38. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Somebody like to take care of the budget transfers?
I would like to. I'll make a motion to approve budget transfer request 14 regarding receiver taxes training, from receiver town board training to receiver taxes training for $208. Budget adjustment request number 15 regarding lifeguard training, from recreation program lifeguard training to recreation program lifeguard training and contingency account for $2,718. Correction, the contingency account minus $518. Budget adjustment request number 16 regarding swim lessons. So from the park charges swim lessons program, $1,680 to parks personal services swim lessons, parks contractual swim lessons, employee benefits, social security, employee benefits Medicare, and employee benefits workers' comp insurance. So
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Charles, you're up.
All right. First tonight we have on the agenda is the Veterans Park Caretaker's House. The chairman of the Veterans Park Committee received 2 proposals to do siding and deck work on the house. Both proposals come in between $22,000. We should really have 3 proposals. Plus, this board has not had the opportunity to go out and take a look at this proposed work. I would suggest that the town board in the near future do a little site walk and check out the park, check out the house to make sure that everything that is proposed is needed, and the fact that it's a lot of money. So that's my recommendation to my fellow cohorts up here. I think it would be good.
I agree.
Anyone else? Discussion?
I know that the conversation was they were looking because of the amount and the idea that that would have to go out.
Sorry, Sean. I'm not
Sorry.
up too well.
No, you're not.
You're on. I don't know.
I'm not up.
No,
Hang on.
Give it another try.
We're gonna just cheat.
Okay.
All right. So the discussion was that because the amounts were significant and may require additional process, the board felt that one of the projects was more urgent than the other, and I believe that was the deck, correct? They were saying they wanted to move forward with doing the deck.
That is correct.
The bids are fairly consistent. The deck, I think, is a great idea. They budgeted for it. So I think the site walk is a great idea. We can do it all on our own schedules. I've been to the park. Charlie and I both go there for meetings almost every month, so I've seen it. And I'm already supportive of them doing the deck. The main thing is whether the numbers are correct, that's all. Just comparing the quotes and making sure that the numbers jive with the work that's necessary. And that's all. But I'm certainly supportive of them. One thing this board does, not that the other boards don't, but this board in particular, spends money very frivolously. They've put off projects that they've approved. Frugally. Sorry, frugally. Can you draw that back and
Like,
just
okay.
frugally, not frivolously? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. They do really have significant discussions, and they are very conservative in their approach. They've put off paving the parking lot, for instance, because they realized it's a lot of money, even though it was part of their capital plan, maybe not necessary. So they regrade that parking lot every year, when we had approved in the capital plan them doing that. So,
Okay,
anyway.
so there are a couple of issues. I would like to go out, but I'd like to go out with the chairman of the park board so that we can get his input
Yeah.
as well, and he can, kind of guide us through this. It does need 3 bids. If they wanted to do it all, then we'd have to put it out for formal bidding. That would require getting an architect to do specs. We don't want to do that. I'm also a little bit concerned. I gave the drawings to our Director of Code Enforcement to go through to make sure the drawings are okay, but they're proposing 2 different plans for the deck. One has 6 footings, the other has 7 footings. They're, attaching them up differently. And I'm not exactly sure of the company that they actually recommended, why there's only 7 footings, because I would have thought there would have needed to be more, but I'm willing to do whatever everybody else wants to do.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
Can you see the 7?
6, 7, yeah.
The others don't need footings.
The others, those are just railing supports. Those aren't posts to the ground.
Oh, they're not.
No, those are just the railing supports.
See, it doesn't show that on the drawings.
No, I mean, I'm just basing it on what would make sense. So before, these are the girders. Yeah, these are just the railing posts that needed. See, that's not a railing, so they're gonna tie in.
So regardless, he's doing 7 footings, the other plans show 6.
So I think it's worth going over with
Yeah,
them
it's
and just
worth
making sure the details are
Vetting
there.
it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Also, I think our code enforcement can say pretty quickly, hey, an average deck around here costs X number of dollars per square foot, and a set of stairs costs X number of dollars per square foot, and this is what it should cost, and we'll be within about probably $1,000 or $2,000, so we'll know if the number's really within ballpark.
okay.
That's all. Yeah,
So what's your pleasure tonight? Would you like to table this for tonight? Sure. Take a walk?
that's fine.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
reach out
well,
to Joe and see when he has some time that we can all get
And
together.
has Bob been over, McCarthy? Has he looked at it and?
No, that's what I said earlier. I
Oh, I'm
gave it
sorry.
to Bob a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't gotten back to me yet.
Okay.
We've had other issues going on. So,
Hey, Rich.
yes.
These posts aren't needed because they're tying into the house. They're probably not necessary. They only need the exterior ones because this is only 6 foot off the house. They
Right,
tie
and
in.
the other drawings show
Yeah.
the header coming in,
Right,
right?
yeah,
So why is he not doing the header?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. So, I want some input back from Bob
Ah.
as well.
He's changing the direction of the joists. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, anyway, all right,
All right?
thank you.
Good.
All right.
Next, we have a EMS Committee subject. Town Board has spoken to 2 members of the community relative to forming a EMS committee that would review policies and procedures related to the operation of the town's EMS services. And we're looking for them to make recommendations to the town board on any changes that may improve the service. The committee would also consider additional policies and procedures relative to basic life support services to our residents. Policies involving personnel and employment are excluded from what the town board wants. So there's a few other items we'd like them to do. So the people involved that we spoke to, Craig Gargliardo and Joe.
Gagliardo.
Buccanano.
You don't want to get that whole family against you for mispronouncing the name, Charlie.
Not so much worried about those guys, but the next guy,
Did you hear Pete?
It's Buccanano.
Buccanano.
Buccanado,
Greg Gagliardo and Joe Buccanano.
just what I said.
Just like it's spelled.
And a gentleman named Robert Kearns, who we did not have the opportunity to speak to, but was on a previous committee when the work was going on to start up our own ambulance service. So, and we would also like to have Councilman Pete over there as the liaison to this committee, and keep them moving and keeping us informed. So I will make a motion at the town board, approve Robert Kearns, Greg
Gagliardo.
Gagliardo, Joe Buccinato as members of this committee, and Councilman D'Andriano as the liaison to this committee. So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, before we walk away, I drafted a letter to the committee because I wanted to get it right. Anybody have any changes? Or if you want to take some time and email me your changes?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Okay,
appreciate
all
it.
right, then I'm going to send that out to them.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Anything else, Charles?
Nope.
Okay. It's the time of year that we offer and get our employees their defensive driving class for the year, or for, I think it's every 3 years. Thank you. So do we do everybody every 3 years, or do we do some each year?
Offer it.
We offer it
Offer it.
every 3 years.
Oh, okay. Because we offer it every year because there's so many people and, anyway. So really the question for the board is what the rules will be in terms of who we offer it to. The obvious ones are the full-time highway and anyone that drives a town vehicle as part of their job or has a vehicle available to them. So obviously Bob McCarthy, all the highway guys, all the sanitation guys. The question is, do we offer it to the other full-time employees, pay for the class, and let them take it on town time? And then the other question would be part-timers. So what is the pleasure of the board? And I'll ask Sue, what's the past practice?
Past practice has been all employees.
All employees, even part-time? And we offer it, pay for it and on time?
And we also allow their significant others to take the class as well, but they're charged.
Okay. And they do it on their own time?
No, not my time.
At a reasonable price.
So does the town receive a benefit through insurance for them taking this class? Is that,
Well, obviously for the
We've
highway.
had
Like
that
a-
discussion we've had that discussion also with our insurance carrier, and it's somewhat of a gray area where they encourage us to do it. We never see where there's an actual reduction, and they never ask us for proof.
Mhm. So in the class, you pay an extra fee to get the certificate, Pete, to get a reduction on your personal car insurance, right? For the defensive driving. You fill out for the point reduction or the, what is it, off the liability? I'm just asking, the first time I've seen an
10% off your-
employer offer to actually pay for it. I would see we're paying for whoever wants to go, right?
So that's the question, is whether or not we're paying for those that
We
aren't
are. That's what
required as
I'm
part of their
this
job.
is-
Our highway guys, and anybody, our EMTs, they have to take it. That's something that we absolutely have to have them do. But we're talking about people like,
No, but they do get, by taking the class.
they get a 10%
Correct.
reduction on their personal
On their
insurance.
personal insurance.
And they
as well.
get
So
a
there's a
point
benefit
reduction.
for them on their personal insurance
Absolutely.
as well. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
that's
no,
all.
just
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to
just
clarify.
curious, because it's actually the first time I've ever seen an employer pay for, except for, I would say the highway department, because there's a benefit to that, because they're out on the road. But, so you're offering it to the
county does the same
the
thing.
building here.
The county does the
What is
same
the
thing.
benefit for the town, for the employees that work in the office
Yeah.
to give that?
So from time to time, most of the employees, at least at town hall and I know at court, do use their own personal vehicle, but they are
Mhm.
using it for town business.
Mhm.
Running to the bank, running to
Post
pick up
office.
materials that we may need here.
Trainings.
So, yeah, trainings. So,
Okay.
there's not a lot of
Yeah.
benefit, but it's always good to have employees that are safe when they're out on the road representing the town.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm certainly in support of offering it to all of the employees and paying the $25 fee and letting them take it on town time. The significant others, obviously, they pay their own portion and,
Right.
you know, and, I mean, it's the same exact way they do it in the county, and it's worked really well that people, you never know when somebody's gonna be jumping in a town vehicle
Mhm.
to use it. So I'll make a motion that we approve based on past practice and conversation tonight.
Now, is it, well, full-time employees
And
part-time rec center staff?
Yep.
So we're paying them?
How about lifeguards?
Can you hear me?
Why not? It depends, are you doing rec center?
It's not working, Pete.
Well, that's,
These two are not plugged in.
So, it's not mandatory though.
No,
all right, so,
it's all right. We're gonna just
okay,
get a little closer to you.
let's work around this for a little bit. Because I don't want you closer to me. Go
Probably
grab-
the
go
only
grab
mic that
the,
they don't want to
Go
work
grab the
is
other
the
mic.
only one working.
We're on camera, guy.
I got you back.
I'm just saying.
Got it?
That doesn't work either.
Testing.
Nope.
What's going on here, guys?
Check.
Start of summer and nobody wants to be in a long town board meeting.
Let me have one of the other mics. Mine? Yourself? Yeah, I can see what it is. What the heck? Where is
Yeah,
that?
well, your
Fun
microphone,
here.
reach up top there. That doesn't work either.
Test. No, that's not good.
So it's the system, not the mic.
It's the wires.
Let's let them share that one and you take.
Yeah, we're fine. You wanna slide Charlie's over and we'll share?
Yeah,
That's
it
all right.
doesn't go any
Pete's
further.
gonna clean it, don't worry. So I kinda forgot what we were talking about, but,
So my question was, so are we paying for all employees? Are we paying for their time? So
well,
if
that's
we're-
exactly the question.
Yeah.
My motion was yes.
So if you're part-time rec center staff and you work weekends and we're having a class on a Thursday, are we paying them to come in to take the class?
I would. We're paying everybody else. We might as well be
Yeah, that's
consistent.
definitely
Yeah, no, listen, I gotta say, I would not.
No.
I would say part-timers, if they wanna take the class, will pay for the class, but you're gonna take it on your own time. Full-timers will pay.
So let me amend the motion to exactly that change, and we will move on. So moved.
What,
Not all part-timers though, right? Because the EMTs need it.
Well,
They're part-time.
that's different. They need it. It's required for their job, so it's
All
different.
part-time employees that don't require it.
Yes. Perfect. So moved. For the third time.
You need a second.
second?
Oh, you know.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to recuse myself from the vote.
Oh, there you
Fair
go.
enough.
We forgot about that.
All right, next.
Second item we have is the wonderful folks at the Putnam County Land Trust have to apply to the planning board for an application fee for a parking lot on the Brandon Farm Preserve on Farm to Market Road. Question I have is, Rich, how much review from our office is required for this? It's a gravel lot, right?
It's a gravel lot. I've already reviewed it. I've been working with them for a number of years, trying to get this implemented.
And this is an important parking lot because it creates a safety hazard when they park along the road out there.
A big safety hazard
Correct.
because they're parking on a bad corner on 164.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Do they ever pay for their fees?
Well, they can now if you so choose.
Okay.
I think the good they bring far outweighs the difference in these nominal fees with the protection of all these resources in Patterson. We could have condos if you want more of those.
It's a nonprofit too, right?
Yeah.
It is a
You
nonprofit.
know, I always hate charging nonprofits when they're raising money for their cause. And,
Absolutely.
you know, we can help them by not taking that money they raise for their cause for fees like this.
Well, just wanted to mention, waiving about $2,500, that could go
Well, yeah,
away
but
for a lot of,
2,000 is escrow, it doesn't always all get used. The 500, and the planning board is much more efficient than when you and I were on it. So, I'll move that we waive the fees for the application for the Brandon Farm Preserve parking lot on Farm to Market Road in the amount of $500 application fee and the escrow of $2,000. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all, thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
I am,
You did.
all right. So, first on my agenda is the Hep B vaccine. This is a new requirement imposed on municipalities by the state. We are now required to offer Hep B vaccine to anybody who is interested in receiving the vaccine. And if you don't want to receive it, you're required to sign a waiver that you don't want to receive it. Gotta love it. We have 9 employees that have requested the waiver, the Hep B vaccine. It's a 2-shot deal. It's $270 per
Three.
person.
3 shots.
I'm sorry, 3 shots. Can't wait for this one. I think I passed. 9 employees have requested it. We are talking about an expense of approximately $2,730 to provide the Hep B vaccine to our employees. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the expenditure of $2,730 for 9 employees to have the Hep B vaccine. So,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
It's awfully quiet on my other side here. All right, next on my agenda,
you wanna, what is this vaccine for again?
Does, the health department doesn't offer that?
Yeah, you pay for it though.
Yeah, but
Unless they come to they do a free clinic. They did it about a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. They do it through
Only,
their
I know
travel
we've
clinic.
already approved this, but we're paying $100 for travel?
paying a little bit more than that, I think.
Yeah.
But as
that's-
it, again,
To drive to Tech up in Hopewell, is that,
for,
They
yeah,
gotta come here
because
and
there's
do it.
multiple people.
or there?
There's multiple people. They're
No,
all-
we're paying each of them, right? We're paying the
No, we're paying
Per
for the tech
hour.
to come here.
travel
Yeah.
fee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's true.
As the $90 is covering.
I thought we
okay.
had agreed
All right,
that the
yeah.
Tech was coming here for the first one, they were going there for the second and third one.
I don't know.
Tech's coming here all 3 times? All right, so.
What is this vaccine for?
Hepatitis
B.
B. Hepatitis B.
Is that the lingo? Hep?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what all the kids are saying, you know.
Okay, moving on. We have a conference request from our data collector in the assessors department. She is looking to go to training for agricultural farm appraisals in Schoharie County. It is the only one being given this year free by the state, but there is a cost for, because it's a week-long class, for the, for staying at an inn. She's actually staying at a bed and breakfast. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the conference request in the amount of $921. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. There is that. There's that. Okay, so the town has drafted an intermunicipal agreement to get reimbursement for a part of the receiver of taxes software. The intermunicipal agreement would share that service between Brewster Schools, Carmel Schools, and the town of Patterson. We sent the resolution down to Brewster. Unfortunately, Brewster shares an attorney with us. We use them for personnel, they use them for their schools. And so they've asked for the town to waive any potential conflict of interest concerning this matter. They have a short resolution. And the waiver is on the back. Does anybody have any questions about it or comments?
Nope.
Okay.
Standard.
A little different than standard in form, but standard.
All right, I'd like to move the resolution and ask that it be entered into the minutes as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? What is a quiet night? Executive session, legal, I will defer to the end of the meeting.
Okay, the first item on my agenda are recreation requests from Mr. Matt Chavarro. Matt sent out a RFP for 40 dry fit staff shirts with the logo on the front, print on the back. Select Sportswear was the lowest bidder, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of 40 dry fit staff shirts in an amount not to exceed more than $530. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Matt is also looking to purchase 10 dry fit performance t-shirts with the print on the front. And it looks like baseball,
Basketball.
basketball
Champs.
Okay. So I'd like to select Sportswear once again, the lowest bidder in the amount of $135. I'd like to make a motion to approve a $135 purchase of 10 dry fit performance t-shirts. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 This one is a little confusing to me because I'm reading this email. This is a request. Matt is he's making adjustments to the PreK pricing for the upcoming school year. So in the first paragraph here, he indicates that it would be $300 per sibling, and it looks like down here we have an additional email with conflicting prices on it.
Yeah,
So
I think he's making
Are we not-
adjustments to what he said
to
before.
what he said? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got the original email and met with Matt and discussed the pricing. And as per our discussion, he made some adjustments.
Okay, got it. All right, so I didn't see the conversation in between there, so. All right, so he has a 5-day per week option, and this is all regarding pre-K pricing for the upcoming school year. A 5-day per week option would be $325 per child and $300 per sibling, additional sibling. How many hours a day is the pre-K? Just doesn't say it here.
4.
so- 9
9 to 12.
to
Yeah,
12?
4.
Okay.
3.
3, I think.
Okay,
9 to
so,
12,
well,
I think.
So for a 4-hour day, 5 days a week, $325 per child, $300 per sibling. If you'd like a 4-hour day, 3 days per week, $275 per child and $260 for additional siblings. 2 days a week, 4 hours a day would be $200 per child, and this is all per month, and $190 per sibling. Right? I said that right? Yes,
Yep.
per month. So for 5 days a week, these prices are not per week, they're per month. I left that out.
Yep.
So do we need to approve this or just
Say so.
announce it? Okay.
No, we need to approve it.
I didn't know, okay.
That was a motion?
Adjustment. So make a motion to approve Matt's new pay schedule for the upcoming school year of pre-K pricing. So
Second.
moved.
All in
You got
favor?
a second?
Aye.
Okay, what else do we have? Oh, local, an announcement from the Patterson Recreation Center. We have pizza night Saturday, June 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. Grades 1 through 8 are welcome.
29.
On, huh?
29?
29? 69, 79, 29. Isn't that what I said? Did I say?
You said 26th.
I did?
Oh, the only
I said from
attention?
6 to 9. Okay. Pizza night Saturday, June 29th from 6 to 9 p.m. Grades 1 through 8 are welcome. Online registration for pizza night available now, $12 per person. We have summer camps, multi-activity, basketball, flag football, Lego Minecraft, pre-K, and robotics and coding. Limited space still available. The senior luncheon will be Wednesday, July 10th, 12 p.m. Please call to make your reservation by Wednesday, July 3rd, $6 per person. The All-American Concert on Saturday, July 13th. Now, this has been canceled, though, hasn't it? Or
Not this one.
Not this one? Okay. On Saturday, July 13th, doors open at 6:30, free admission, performance by the Southern Duchess Concert Band. And the Golden Age Senior Club presents Hot Dog Bingo on Thursday, July 18th at 12:30. I think that's all he has.
Good job.
Well, we also have on the back of this, bingo, you have to make a reservation by July 12th. Yep. And another pizza night, Saturday, July 20th. Please visit our website at www.pattersonrec.org or call 845-878-7200 for more information on activities. Thank you. I'm making it painful for you.
Good job.
Okay, so, this is, what do we have here? Zoning code changes for self-storage facilities. So what I have in front of me are some recommended changes to some of the sections of the zoning code. They would like to amend the definition of self-storage and also add a subsection Q as follows in this paperwork. I've reviewed this and I recommend that we forward these changes to the planning board for their review and for also their recommendations regarding this section of the zoning code for self-storage facilities. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Question. We're sending it to planning. Do we ever send these to zoning as well, since they're zoning codes, just to see?
We certainly could, but it's required by law that we send it to the planning board. It's not required by law that we send it to the ZBA.
I was
We
just
can-
curious. No, I was just curious. I didn't remember whether we did on these.
No, we typically don't.
Okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So just so everybody knows what we're looking at doing, the town's been approached by an individual who is looking to do fairly upscale self-storage facility on a piece of property that the planning board approved the building on, a 70,000 square foot building on 2008.
Yeah.
And since 2008, we've been trying to market this property and we can't get anybody to go, and it's probably one of the best locations in Patterson. So at this point, I think we're willing to consider other things that haven't been previously considered.
Good luck.
Yep.
Easy build. Maybe we should waive their fees for building and then we could
Yeah, thanks.
get. Yeah.
Anybody have any questions on this?
Yeah,
You can.
Mhm.
we're gonna all review it and give you our comments.
Yeah, I don't think I was referring to you in particular, but that's okay. All right, Peter.
All right.
I'll sign it.
Okay, first on my agenda, I have Patterson Presbyterian Church waiver of fees. We have a memo from our Director of Code Enforcement. He received a request from David Frost, the pastor of the Presbyterian Church, requesting the fees associated with the removal of an underground fuel storage tank and piping to be waived. The storage tank is void of contents and must be removed in order to accommodate the construction of the handicap ramp that is being installed. So if you've noticed on the side of the church, they're installing a handicap ramp. To finish it up, they have to remove this storage tank. So they're requesting to waive the fees of $275, and the code enforcement director is recommending this as well. So in the spirit as our discussion earlier about nonprofit organizations, I would recommend, I make a motion that we waive the $275 fee. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm also doing that.
Aye.
Say it.
Aye.
Amen.
Any opposed?
Sean, you in favor?
I am in favor. Amen.
Next, IMA Patterson Fire Department. So we have an opportunity to move our ambulance, our paid ambulance service, to house our ambulance is over to the Patterson Fire Department temporarily until we get our building back here all set up for them. Both fire departments were in discussions with them, and I guess we, as a town board, will have to look into it further and then discuss it further and get back to at a later meeting to see what we want to do.
Would you like me to send this over to Patterson so they can start looking at it, or would you like to hold off?
I would hold off just for, until we
Yeah.
still after.
I'd like you to hold off just so you
Yeah.
can read this. and-
We can discuss it a little more.
Okay.
Okay, and last I have
It'll be your
our-
first EMS Committee agenda, first item on the agenda, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, on the topic of EMS, we had some really good interviews. Myself and Denise Montana, our EMS administrator, interviewed 3 very, very experienced, great candidates. So we have a memo from Denise Montana requesting to hire Miss Elizabeth Bodner, Anthony Rivera, and Thomas Kieran. So I'd like to make a motion to hire them, pending all background clearances and all the information they need at a rate of $15 per hour. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. So everybody is clear, these are temporary hires. They made applications directly to the town of Patterson. They are not on the civil service list from the county. So we can hire them temporarily pending their taking the exam and passing it, or doing whatever the county is requesting of them to do. So it's not provisional, it's temporary.
Okay. I thought that I didn't know that they weren't on the list. I thought we
Oh,
hadn't
I'm
received.
sorry.
I was told we didn't receive the list. We didn't receive their information from the county.
We didn't receive the information, it was.
Because they didn't
Okay,
take-
so,
Because there's
knowing
nothing to
that, do
receive.
you want to pull this back?
No.
Okay,
I think
all right.
they were great, really great, very experienced. So I wouldn't want to lose them. I think they would be great. I think it's, they just enhance our EMS unit of the year to maybe next year.
Good.
No, I have no problem with that. I have no
Yeah,
problem with.
but they are temporary appointments.
Pending their civil service requirements.
But they'll
Maybe the
obviously
civil
be
service.
told that they're temporary, their assignments are
Mhm.
temporary. Okay.
All right. I
So-
will confirm that too, because that should have been done.
It's
Yes.
probably not a huge deal being a temporary employee to a part-time job. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not a full-time job, so. They're all kind of.
Okay? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's all I have.
All right, other business. Going once.
I have something.
Go ahead.
On Fields Corner Road, we received the traffic study
Yes.
from FP Clark. You had asked for us to look at it,
Yes?
because it came in draft. I, for one, have done that. I think we should send it over to Southeast for their information, comments, and everything else.
Anyone else?
I support Charles.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'm currently waiting for them to give me a document that is not marked draft, and then I'm going to send it over. Okay.
Whiteout.
If I have to. So,
Could you send us a copy?
sure, absolutely. I thought I had. Okay.
You authorized?
Okay. Anybody else with anything else? All right, I have 2 things, both updates. One of them Charles asked me to do earlier today. As everybody is aware, we started construction Monday on the pavilion. I'm a little disappointed in the company at this point and the progress that's been made. They showed up to put the building up without being ready to install the footings which we had paid for. So it's been a bit of a interesting time with getting them to get the footings in the middle of the rainstorm. But I believe, because they had everything ready to go and they were just doing the concrete, when last I saw them, that the footing should be in tonight. So hopefully we'll make some serious progress in getting this structure up. The other thing is the Thunder Ridge sewer project. For those who don't know, New York City back in 1997 created a sewer upgrade program, whereas every sewage treatment plant with a speedies permit within New York City's watershed, they paid to upgrade the system. They went back and forth with Thunder Ridge for many years. As I said, this started in 1997. Finally, they approached the town and said, would the town consider putting them into the sewer district? We did agree. We did do all the proceedings. We never finished the proceedings. We still have to do that because the problem was that in the middle of all this, the EFC, who provides, New York City DEP was under contract with the EFC to fund the program. So all the DEP funds for the contractors to do the upgrades were running through the Environmental Facilities Corporation. Well, it's taken so long that the contract between the DEP and the EFC expired. So the EFC just stopped everything. And it took 2 years to get the contract back. And so they started construction. They've got most of it done. And here we are, the EFC contract with the DEP is set to expire June 30th, and not all the plants are finished. So I was contacted today by Mike Myers from New York City DEP, who asked, there's about $100,000 worth of work left to do to get this finished. And it's not going to get done by June 30th. And he asked that the town would go into an agreement with New York City DEP to finish the project and run the funding. We'd run the funding through the O&M program. The O&M program is a program DEP set up to partially fund the wastewater treatment plant. So, anybody have an opinion on this?
So what does that mean? We would have to fund?
So we would be responsible for paying off to finish the project with the contractors.
And we wouldn't get reimbursed?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh.
You would through
The O&M program.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
You know, you must have mentioned 3, 4, 5 state agencies.
A lot of alphabet, a lot of letters in the
Yeah.
A
alphabet.
lot of letters, but it was.
Alphabet
it was-
City.
It was a city agency and a state agency.
And 22 years later, we got to bail them out.
It is what it is.
Robert, what do you think? Something, huh? Terrible.
I guess we're at public recognition. He needs a mic.
No, I don't, I will speak loud enough, okay?
Come closer.
This is fine. Can you hear me? A little closer? Okay.
Take a seat on the board.
This has been going on for a long time.
With Thunder Ridge?
Yes,
Okay.
it is a bad deal. The city of New York was going to spend how many millions of dollars to build a sewage treatment plant there?
A little over 3 million.
A little over 3 million. We agreed to allow them to come into our system. What is their savings?
That I can't tell you because I don't know what it's costing him to do what they're doing.
Well, they're not doing a hell of a lot. It's just a pipe going through the ground from Thunder Ridge with some pump stations.
Mhm.
They're basically pumping a little further than the Acme had a pump to get into our system.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably know what the cost was for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say it's about the same cost. Let's say it's double because of the prevailing wage. The issue is still this, is that the city of New York saved about $2 million, and they still hold us hostage over who we can add to our sewage treatment plant. I think it's time for you to say to them, no, we will do the 100,000, but we need some regress. We need to be able to decide who's going into our system. I think we have some time, it's a few days. It's time for you to say to them, stop, You can't be beating up on us all the time. You need us now, well, we need some regress. We need to be able to extend the sewer line to some of our commercial developers on 311. That's what I think we need to do. Because I think right now, they saved $2 million, and now they're saying to the town, oh, come on, ante up $100,000, and we'll pay you back eventually. I think it's time for you to say to them, no, it's a bad deal. Thank you.
Okay. Bruce, your points are well taken. We haven't started to negotiate any sort of agreement. I was just approached today, and I wanted to get the board's sense before I, started having further negotiations. I also want to point out that we actually just received a contract with the East of Hudson Corporation. The DEP is giving us $15 million to continue to do stormwater retrofits. So there's a benefit to us there.
That's going to benefit just the town of Patterson? No, it's going to benefit a lot of other people. Like I discussed with you, I received a letter from, as you remember, from DEC saying that my septic system, if it fails, may be available to be paid for by repair. They sent out 3,000 letters, okay? Did they mean it or not mean it? The woman I spoke to said, well, we may be able to get you into the plan. I think it's time to play hardball with these people because they haven't been nice to us. And I'm glad to see a couple of heads nod in agreement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, my head is nodding that I agree with you, but I think we should do the negotiations, and hopefully they'll ease up and let us pick additional people without having their approval on it. But if it comes to it, I think we have to pay and get this thing closed.
Get it in writing.
I mean, let them, it's like them borrowing the money from us, get it done with, and we move on.
And whatever they say in private, that they agree to do certain things, I'd like to see an article in the paper saying that you had a meeting with them and they agreed to the changes that you asked for.
Well, I'd like to see just a written agreement. I don't have to read it in the paper, but I think if we get it and we'll do it
The
ourselves.
chances of getting a written agreement from them is,
is very good. We're not doing it without a written agreement.
Yeah, I mean,
Not that crazy. All right, public recognition. Anyone else have anything they wish to bring up at this time with the board?
I do have an announcement I forgot to make. If no one else has any.
Okay, you're on.
I just want to give another plug to our Putnam Lake, 4th Annual Putnam Lake National Night Out on August 6th. It's going to be at the Putnam Lake Ball Field from 6 to 9. We're getting some people that are confirming already. The Putnam County Sheriff's Department's going to be there with the K-9 unit doing demonstrations. They're going to have some cool police vehicles there for the kids to see. Patterson Rec Center is going to be there providing games for kids like they did in the past few years. The health department will be there talking about emergency preparedness and some other things. New Vans, which is formerly Health Quest, will be giving CPR demonstrations and talking about car seat safety. And Green Chimneys is coming with their animals again this year.
Nice.
So they're gonna have that. I think that was a hit. Too bad it rained too much last year, but
It's gonna be beautiful.
yeah, it's always a good thing with their animals. So they're coming in.
what's that date again?
August 6th, from 6 p.m. till dark.
Great.
That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.